everybody, this is Dr. Forth, and I'm continuing with my academic support program. Here today, we're actually going to talk about how you learn. And I know a lot of you probably talked about I'm a visual learner versus auditory or kinesthetic tactile. Lots of people think that they're kinesthetic and tactile. These are kind of old-fashioned ideas, and in fact, a lot of that has been debunked. Realize that visual, auditory, kinesthetic, tactile is not really like a diagnosis. And most of us learn through a variety of information intake methods. And so after the learning styles idea, they then developed the multimodal learning concept. Multimodal learning is just a fancy way of saying we all incorporate a lot of different things into our learning process. And so somebody who learns better from looking at things, visual learners, these people might like videos or making drawings and so forth. They also benefit from hands-on or from hearing things as well. So none of us are all just one way or the other. Another important part for multimodal learning, and they've looked at this in some of the research, is the fact that environmental setup is very important because it's not just your materials that you're learning intentionally, it's what's in your environment, olfactory input, sound input, and actually in my class for study skills and learning techniques, I'm going to put the link in the description, I talk about environmental management and the use of brainwave studies and using things like essential oils and different kinds of lighting and how blue light waves can actually cause problems. All of that's included in my class that I'll link in the description. So multimodal learning really recognizes that we all use a variety of different methods for getting information in. And now the newest research is called metacognition, and really there's a lot of information about that, but bottom line is being aware of how you learn. So if you know that certain things are working well for you, you want to make sure that you use those study tools. One of the things that I found from my students just this very term, students are using the different study tools, mind mapping and flashcards and so forth, but I was shocked to hear that they're having AI generate those tools for them. I think this is a mistake because a lot of the way that you learn the material is by making those tools yourself. Think about that process. You have to go through your notes, PowerPoints, and take out the important information and put it together in an organized format. And I think that there's something beneficial to that actual process. In fact, my medical terminology students, I always tell them there's beautiful flashcards at the bookstore with full color pictures and so forth. And I tell them it's better to make your own. And so you can make digital flashcards using something like Quizlet, or you can do paper-based if you really want the tangible paper flashcards. But the process of creating those is very important. It's the same thing if you like mind mapping and so forth. So really try and create your own tools. You can use ChatGPT to help summarize the material, or even better, because I think summarizing the material, going through it yourself is beneficial, even better, ChatGPT or whichever particular AI you like to use, Google Gemini, those tools can be used to generate sample quizzes. Even tell them, hey, my professor really emphasized this particular topic, so I want to make sure that I really include that in my studies. you can use AI for those kinds of things, but I would really encourage you to make your own flashcards, study guides, and so forth, because there's value in putting that material together for yourself. We know that whatever particular learning theory you like to look at, we always learn by attaching new information to things that we already know. So in my classes, I use references from movies and books and so forth to compare what I'm talking about that's a new concept. So, for example, we did the nervous system, and I talked about the Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movie, 50 First Dates, which is kind of hilarious. You should check it out. Talking about the parts of the brain that are damaged related to memory formation. And this way, people can digest the new nervous system information better. But by thinking about, hey, that's like that movie that I saw, because the movie is fun. It's not actually studying. And it's also something we've seen before, so we can connect that with the new information that we're learning. So, those are just some good hints that I hope will help you with learning your new materials.